Vanakkam. A recently reported incident in an airline shook us quite a bit, isn't it? In an Air India flight that was bound from New York to Delhi, a passenger who was allegedly in an inebriated state urinated on a fellow passenger. She was an old lady, 72 years of age. When the incident happened and it was reported, it created a lot of debate, fury, anger and disgust amongst us. Very recently, the alleged offender's lawyer has rebutted the charges and now he claims that the lady soiled her own self. Why would she do that? Because she is a dancer, a Kathak dancer, and apparently 80% of the Kathak dancers have the problem of incontinence. So, when I was going through all this, I couldn't help sharing the agony of the old lady who was traveling. Not only she had to go through all of this, and now she had to counter this by saying that I did not do it myself, Kathak dancers do not have this problem. So, the debate is moving into a different direction. It makes us wonder, why did this guy do this, if at all he did this? I am also reminded of a comedy scene in one of the Tamil films. Vadivelu, the greatest comedian of the Tamil movies, has enacted this scene. So, in this film, every day in the morning he gets up, he is a duty bound son, he falls at the feet of his parents, he praises them for all the things that they have done for him and sets out to work. He is an auto driver. So, after 6 p.m. he stops riding his auto and he comes home back as inebriated as he could be. And he thrashes his frightened parents, now accusing them of everything that he praised them for in the morning. So, this famous dialogue that he says in this movie, 6 manikku mela auto odadu, auto will not run after 6 p.m. is a very famous one-liner in most of the offices. Whenever someone changes his or her behavior, I see that people use this line very often. Not only in this movie, but I have personally witnessed some very well-behaved gentlemen change their behavior after a couple of drinks in office parties. In one of the organizations, a very senior leader known for his discipline, after he had a couple of gulps, he just plunged headlong into the swimming pool close by, only that the pool had no water at all at that time. Why do people do this, and why does alcohol make them do things that otherwise they wouldn't even dream of doing? Alcohol or any intoxication affects the equilibrium of the brain. So, the brain, after losing its equilibrium, is not able to judge, and when the judgment is lost, all hidden beasts start coming out and all the manners that have been learnt over the years fade into oblivion. It is also surprising that the drinking habit, as we think, is not of recent origin. It has been a part of our way of life for a very long time. The Sangam literature has quite a few poems that celebrate intoxication or liquor consumption, and we see that has accompanied people either when they were celebrating or they were going through an agony. Thiruvalluvar's voice was probably the lone voice that spoke against this habit. He was probably a part of a movement that declared that liquor consumption is a social evil. And why did Thiruvalluvar say this? He said that when one consumes a drop of alcohol, it's like consuming a drop of poison. The lady, the magnificent lady of etiquette, will turn her face to the man who does the abominable crime of liquor consumption. This is what he says. I was just thinking, he might have probably been ridiculed at that point of time because alcohol consumption was so commonplace, and he, as a lone voice, said that this is a social crime. But he, in his conventional courage, declared that this is a crime, and the person who commits this is committing an abominable crime. Naan Ennum Nallaal Purangotukkum Kallennum பேனா பெருங்குற்றத்தார்க்கு. This is what the great saint declared. For more such thoughts on Thirukkural, follow Thirukkural with the Times with me, Bharathi Baskar, every Saturday in the Times of India.